Hi, everybody. Sorry for totally biffing the Friday Zooms. So stay tuned or shoot me some emails if you guys want to do maybe Monday night after CivLit. But I just went through everything that was posted in the discussion boards and made comments to all of you guys. And I just want to hit you up with like a few tips. Number one, I don't know if it was something in the materials I provided or like something online, but R. Okay, so FIRAC, fact, issue, rule, analysis, conclusion. Fact, issue, rule. Almost everyone's missing the R for rule. So what is rule? It is where you summarize, usually in a sentence or two, fairly short, the key legal rule the court is applying to the case at hand. What was the legal rule in Trader Joe's? What was the legal rule that they applied to answer the question in all the cases? It's probably something to do with freedom of speech, right? So what's the legal rule they applied? And it's not necessarily the standard, like a bunch of you went down like a rabbit hole about temporary injunctions or things like that. That's not the legal rule. That's kind of the procedures. We're really looking at that First Amendment free speech kind of issue that's coming up, or the California Constitution free speech issue. So R is for rule. A lot of people just left that out. So something to keep in mind. Let's see here. Okay, and then probably the other biggest note, I really only have maybe two. So R is for rule, and then F is for facts. You guys, you need to think of that shape. It's kind of like the triangle comes down to a point, and then it touches and it swoops back out. And it's where the facts interact with the law, and they come to a key point. And so eventually, as you get really deep in the weeds and all this, you start to realize that the facts are just as important as the law, because the facts are what determine what law you apply, and the facts are what determine how the legal answer comes out. So most of you, I think there was one person, I can't remember your name, but I went crazy on the comment. Most of you need to provide more detail on the facts. So just the one that's so clearly in my head is Trader Joe's. You know, one of the key facts for Trader Joe's is the size of the store, the type of store. The other thing that you guys will want to pick up on are, you know, where were the people engaging in free speech? You know, what kind of walkways, what kind of sidewalks, what kind of ingress and egress, you know, entrance and exit of the buildings, were they blocking that? How much interaction with customers, with the public were they having? Were they aggressive? Were they, you know, positive? Like, those are key facts that I think if you go back and look, you'll go, oh yeah. And so another thing of how do you determine the facts? Think of it this way. When you're looking at, like, on the paper, how much allotted space has gone to your brief, you almost want as much space for the facts as you do for legal reasoning. So if you have 5 to 10 sentences for legal reasoning, you want about, you know, a good rule of thumb, 5 to 10 sentences for facts. Another rule of thumb is when you look at the brief and when you look at the case, any fact the court mentions in their legal reasoning, you want to mention in the factual summary. Okay, so it's like, if it's important enough for the court to go, yeah, they were blocking the entrance to the building, then you want to put that. The protesters were blocking the entrance to the building. So, you know, you're still summarizing, but, and this is sometimes where it's kind of that takes a lot of experience. Like, how do you summarize what's a relevant fact? What's a key fact? It's hard to know. But so most of you definitely need to beef up your facts section and add more detail. And then the next issue, sorry, I guess I had 3, spoiler alert, is the conclusion or the holding statement. So some people just wrote yes, just wrote no. You want to write the holding or the conclusion of your brief as a full, complete statement. Usually 1 sentence, maybe 2 if it's very complex. And you want the holding or the conclusion of your brief to be so complete that someone could read that 1 statement and go, yes, I understand the law. You know, if a person invokes their 5th Amendment right to against self-incrimination, they do not have to turn over their cell phone password. Boom. You know, there's a complete holding of a court case. Or you cannot electronically track the movements of a vehicle unless you have a warrant application. So it's not yes or no, it's a full statement. So some of you where you wrote yes or no, do yes, and then comma, and then fill in the blank. Another easy way to take it is you're going to take your issue statement and kind of mirror or flip it. So you take your issue statement, can a court, can law enforcement track a car using a GPS device without a warrant? Question. The answer, no. Law enforcement must have a warrant to GPS monitor, electronically track a car. So you use the same words, you just reposition it. So your issue statement should be a marriage. And I don't think I put this on anyone's comments on the discussion board. The issue statement should be a blend, a marriage of fact and law. And so it's a little bit of fact, a little bit of law to make your point of what it is. And then the conclusion or the holding statement also does the same thing, kind of in a mirror image. So that's another area that I thought a lot of people could kind of kick it up, punch it up. Other than that, I think you guys all did amazing. I'm going to post this video. So anyway, talk to you guys later. Bye.